So Cardi B's "Am I the Drama" released, and she letting us know that she is the drama, man. She was throwing shots on this album. The first one that sticks out is on "Pretty and Petty." She had a lot of smoke for Bia. I'm not gonna lie, her and Bia had that back and forth. Bia dropped a diss track that was not that great. I'm not gonna hold you and didn't really warrant a response. But Cardi had some things she still had to get off her chest about Bia. She said, "Why you always at Diddy house? I heard they combed that little kitty out. Tell these folks what it's really about. Why you all in people's face with the mouth, the potty mouth? Diarrhea Bia. Breath so stink you could smell him before you see him. Name 5 Bia songs, gun pointing to your head. Bow, I'm dead. They only book you when they can't afford Coy Leray." But Bia wasn't the only one catching smoke from Cardi on this album. She also has smoke for JT. Her and JT have a history. JT gave a shout out to, was it Glorilla or whatever? She purposefully left Cardi B out of her shout out. Cardi B ended up feeling some type of way about that. That started the whole JT. That's what I believe. If I'm missing it, I don't be 100% caught up on the girl rap drama. But I think that's what I remember happening. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. Anyway, Cardi B has some smoke for JT and Lil Uzi. In turn, Lil Uzi is JT's partner. You feel me? She said, "All that meat riding still ain't going to get no feature at chick. She just mad she got a dude she be sharing bags with." We know Lil Uzi's a little, you feel me? "My dude cheat, but I don't stick no inanimate objects," I'll say, "in his chick." I can't say these words, but you could read the words up here and get what I'm saying. She has some smoke and some shots for JT and Lil Uzi. She was calling Uzi sassy and saying that JT shares bags with him and that she probably penetrates his bottom with inanimate objects. Yeah, Cardi has smoke for people on this album, gang. Overall, how are you guys feeling about the album so far? If you got a chance to listen to it, let me know in the comments.
Lyrics. And Nicki Minaj just obviously can never be touched. She's so one of a kind, and I'm not comparing them, but like, we waited 7 years for this? Trash. The album is trash.
You know what? Fuck it. Cardi B can't rap. She can't rap like that. Like, and I think that's what it is for me, because it's like the rapping is just it's just like the songs be there. She can't rap like that.
So I just got done listening to the long-awaited sophomore album from Cardi B, Am I the Drama, and these are my first impression thoughts. So I'm just gonna say it, I didn't think this album was great, highly disappointing even. I'm just kind of baffled that this album took 7 years to come out, because listening to it, a lot of the instrumentals sound dated, they sound bland, they're generic. I don't think Cardi's rapping is all that standout. Her personality isn't even coming through as much as it did on her debut album. There's not too many standout hooks on here. There is a part in the record where Cardi tries to get more personal, opens up about her divorce, but I don't think the rapping or the writing on those songs are strong enough for it to come off conveying. And it's a shame, because I do think this album gets off to a decent start. The opening track, Dead, I think is a pretty hype, epic opener. Summer Walker's feature is easily the best feature on the album. Hello and Magnet are both pretty fun Atlanta bangers, but once you get to the track with Selena Gomez, things start to go downhill. That song has one of the most grating instrumentals on the whole record, and Selena and Cardi don't really have much chemistry on the song. The core song of Salute isn't bad, but I don't understand why the instrumental feels like a YouTube royalty freebie. What's going on with Lizzo is no exaggeration exaggeration, one of the worst things I've heard all year where they do a 4 non-blondes interpolation. I thought the interpolation trend was over. Apparently not, because we just got one of the worst yet. I don't know what's up with the songs Check Please or Killin' You Hoes, because they have the same instrumental piano loop on them and they're mixed so quietly for some reason. Up and WAP are two of the better songs, but they are 5+ years old at this point, and it is a very strange way to end off your very long 23-track album. The only other songs I enjoyed on here were Pretty and Petty, which is actually a Pretty Mean Bia diss track, and Time, which is another club banger. I think that is kind of just when Cardi is at her best. I think this album also made me realize that when Cardi first came out, she was such a breath of fresh air, but now there are so many other rappers in her lane that are a lot more interesting and a lot more skilled. I'd rather just listen to them, even though, to her credit, I think Cardi did help usher in a lot of those people. But those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comments how you felt about this record.
If I say Cardi B album is ass, y'all gonna say I'm a hater. So what I am gonna say is, for the amount of time that we waited, which is 7 years, it just sounds like a bunch of thrown together singles. Conceptually, the album failed miserably, right?
Can we stop with the narrative that Cardi B made history with going platinum so fast? It's kind of nasty. Listen, if Travis Scott could sell brown t-shirts and they count as sales, I'm not saying that she can't put a 5-year-old 9 times platinum song on her album and a 4-year-old 5 times platinum song on her album. I'm not saying that she can't do that. What I'm saying, though, is history is going platinum the day after 9/11, which Jay-Z did. That's history. History is not taking 2 songs that are 14 times platinum between each other and putting them on an album 5 years later. That's not history. It's taking away credit from artists that had to do pure sales. Imagine if Michael Jackson could sell Thriller t-shirts, and every time somebody bought a Thriller t-shirt, it counted as an album sale. I like Cardi B, but we gotta stop moving the goalposts for people that we like.
This tweet says, I think the birds in the background makes Cardi B's new album cover messy, so I removed it and picked a new blue hood to contrast her red outfit. Okay. And then this says, I personally thought the text was a little too much, so I got rid of that and censored her. Okay. And then someone replied with that tweet saying, personally thought Cardi and the birds were too distracting, so I got rid of them too? So where's Cardi? And then someone replied to that tweet saying, personally thought the clouds were too distracting, so I got rid of them too. So this is just a blue picture. Where's the album, boo? And then someone replied to that tweet saying, personally thought the blue was too blue, so I got rid of the color too. And then the next tweet says, personally thought the was 2, so I got rid of the 2? And then someone replied to that tweet saying, personally thought everything looked too distracted, so I told Cardi B to unrelease the album. So how did we go from here to here? With all them edits, that album not being made then?
Do not piss me off. We're trying to equate what Cardi B just dropped to Scorpion. That would be like if Drake was to drop.
And Cardi B only, sweetheart. The album, throw it away. You put, I understand why you put Up and WAP on there now, because all of the songs on there sound like something from when Up and WAP would have came out. I only liked 4.5 songs. 4.5 because Principle is good, but it's only good because Janet is the reference track. Other than that, I don't really fuck with it that much. Pick It Up should have been a single because that was cute. Other than that, the song with Lourdes, the song with the first song with Summer, good songs. I like those. Other than that, for me to only like 4.5 songs out of 23, you got some explaining to do. Are you the drama? Yes. Is the album the drama? I don't know. Hit the road, dude. This ain't no good album. This is a bad album. Why did I do that? ADHD, my bad. Anyways, it just, you know how you, I feel like once a rapper becomes a rapper and they write their music out, they can hear their voice on their song because they wrote it out in how they would say it. You know what I'm saying? For Cardi B, a lot of the songs on this album sound out of pocket because I feel like she's rapping someone else's music. What I mean by that is, back in the day when we be beefing, we be beef forever, that song sounded like Cardi B because it sounded like she was illiterate, which makes sense because that's just, she has broken English, you know what I'm saying? But it sounded authentic. This shit here sounds like she put the music that she wanted to talk about in a ChatGPT and they gave it to her grammatically correct. And then she tried to rap it on the songs and it just does not sound right because that's not how she speaks. It doesn't sound right, you know what I'm saying? So 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 10 for the album. That's all I can get. I can't give it no higher than a 5 because you have too many songs on there. And then fucking the song with Kehlani, it's Kehlani's song. That song came on, I'm like the way your body is, and the Kehlani is. I'm like, why would she put this on here? That makes absolutely no sense. Anyways, yeah, it wasn't for me. I'm gonna try it one more time though. I'm gonna give it one more good listen, but that's it.
I genuinely think Cardi B may have I think she could have gone the rest of her career and not making music no more. And I'm not saying it like she's ass, like she's a terrible rapper or nothing like that. I just mean it from the perspective of I don't feel like there was any motive for making this. I don't think she cared about this. I really don't. I don't know what the reason was for this coming out. I mean, obviously I do. You have to make another album. You have to. This album is made out of obligation, but not out of vision, not out of creativity, not out of focus, not because I want to do it. It's like I have to meet a deadline. I have to meet my necessities. And that's it.
Here's how I know Wendy Williams would have reacted to Cardi B's new album. So Cardi B just dropped a new album.
Woo!
You like that? You like that, right? Pretty cover. You look beautiful, Cardi. Well, Cardi is taking shots at the girls.
No!
Do you guys know who JT from the City Girls is?
Yes!
Yep, I know. Well, believe you me. In her track, Magnet, Cardi takes a shot at Jatavia. That's her real name. We can call her by her real name, right? And her boyfriend, that rapper, you know him, Lil Uzi Vertex. What, Norman? Oh, Lil Uzi Vert? Oh, yes. Okay, in the song, Cardi says, my N-word cheat, but I don't stick no dildos in his ass.
Oh!
Now, I don't know much about this Lil Uzi Woozy Doozy Vert, but the streets are saying that he can be a little fruity. Norman, show the photo. You know the photo. Show the photo. Hey, girl. Now, Cardi is also claiming in her song that this man and JT, they share handbags. Would you let your man share a handbag with you? I hate when men are in my closet. Why do they want to be us? Now, in another song, Cardi B is also throwing shots at this rapper, a woman named Bia. Clap if you know Bia. None of you know Bia? Well, Norman, do we have a photo? Let's show the photo to jog some memory. We don't have a photo of Bia? Bia, who are you?
Ain't no way, bro. Cardi B dropped this album last night, and she already sold 1 million copies. The album is platinum already in less than 24 hours. The album is already platinum, y'all. What? It happened so fast. I ain't even get a chance to listen to the album yet. I haven't even heard the album yet. And it's already platinum in this era? That's crazy. Now, of course, it's because she added a couple hits to it that hadn't been added to an album yet. So, of course, that jumped it. But why aren't you able to do that? Why can't you take a hit song and put it on your album? If Kendrick would have put Not Like Us on the album, would have been crazy. People do it all the time. There's nothing wrong with putting your hits on the album to up the numbers. And the fact that it is platinum because of those hits says a lot about those hits. Respectfully, bro.
Cardi B has shut so many of her haters up with this album. This album is 1000% going #1. But I think the thing that stood out to me the most is that we have to allow artists the time it takes to create good quality music. All this microwave music has to go. Quality will always be better than quantity, and cream always rises to the top. It may have taken her 7 years to give us her sophomore album, but it was absolutely worth it. This album is 1000% going #1.
I just finished listening to Cardi's album, and anybody who says this album is trash or it's garbage, they simply do not like Cardi. Now, is it better than IOP? In my opinion, no. She came out the gate swinging with IOP. That's such a great first album. I don't think she's topping IOP. But cohesively, Am I the Drama? I like it. There are a few songs that I don't really care for, but she's telling a story, she's rapping, she's dissing. Like, overall, I do like her new album. I will be buying a ticket to the tour. I just need her to drop that baby first before I secure a ticket. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do like this album. I like it a lot. So if I had to rate it though, I would probably give this, I'm like an 8 out of 10. Like I said, there are some songs that I just don't really care for. And plus she took 7 years. Like I feel like Cardi, you should have dropped this like 5 years ago. That's like my only criticism is like you took so long. Like you almost lost me. But yeah, anybody who's saying the album is garbage, like I understand people have their own opinions, but trust me, the album is not trash. I just don't think it's better than IOP.
I just finished my full deep dive of Cardi B's new project, Am I the Drama? At its best, it is a nice follow-up off of her first project. It also has her being candid, being vulnerable, and quite entertaining at certain moments. At its worst, though, it's often a reminder that Cardi B is more a project and a product than she is a pure rapper. Now, that's okay because Cardi B's superpower is the fact that she's likable and in some ways can be relatable. Let's get into this. All right, let's get into it. I know why you're here. As usual, this is how we do the HQ theory. You got the records that I love. You got the records that I like. You got the records that I think are okay. And there's a lot of them I think are pretty much just okay. But it is a very long track list, 23 songs. And then you got records that I'm asking why. Why doesn't always mean I think a record is the worst than ever. For example, you'll see Up and WAP here. They're here because I simply am not going to back up off my point that these records had no business being on this album. I know Cardi B and her fans see it a lot differently. That's cool. As a matter of fact, because of those records, the album is automatic platinum. It just came out, less than 24 hours ago. All right, let's go one by one here. We'll start with the records that we love. We're going to lead with Love, right? I'm actually going to go with Pretty and Petty because I think it's probably the best song on the album. I mean, you start off with name 5 Bia songs to your head. Pop your, okay, we're starting off that record on fire, right? And I don't think it's that close. Now, the thing I love about this record when you say Pretty and Petty, y'all know, I like to tell y'all all the time, you got to know when to attack. Life is a game of chess, Game of Thrones, right? Bia, I'm not gonna lie to you, shorty. You might be flattered that one of the best records about you, but you should be having a meeting right now on how you're going to deal with this because I know you did your dissing a little while back, but shorty took her time. I mean, for the love of God, you from Boston? Let's have a tea party. It's a crazy bar. I love Cardi's delivery on here, maybe because she was angry, but this is one of those records where she sounds pretty good in her delivery. Another record that I love here, Man of Your Word. Shout out to this record and just the production around this record. Shout out to the fact that this record is a really great example of her being vulnerable and candid. Like the production, the hook along with Dougie F. Shout out Jersey in the building. Now I'm saying if you know, you know. It really just does it for me. And the only thing I would say I don't love about this record, bias as a man, is when Cardi says, as a wife, I should have realized when you was hurt. Elaborate on that. Explain, expand, a little bit of accountability here. Y'all told me women don't usually, not really have accountability and not really accountable for a lot of things, but elaborate on that some more. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we talked about Man of Your Word, Dougie F. We got Jeff Kleiman on the production. We like that. Now we're going to go to Safe. Safe is a vibe. I can't lie. The production on this record is also great. Feels like a single. There's some things I have a problem with here. I don't hate the sequencing on this record. Big name project, big money project. They did what they had to do. Safe feels like it should have been a single. They just dropped a video to go along with the release of the project. So I see, but I'm not understanding why we did Imaginary Players next up. Maybe because they felt like they were trying with the singles, just go with something raw. But funny enough, this record sounds like it should have been D Cash Cobain Records. It is not. It is safe with Kehlani. It is a vibe for me. I love this record. Now, let's get to the records that I did like. Now, Imaginary Players is crazy to me. This record sounds so much better on the album. It sounds better with the sequencing of the album. This shouldn't have been a single. And I know it's a good album cut because when the phone took the playlist and played it for me and got to it, I didn't go, oh, I already heard this is the single. It just flowed. It was easy on the ears. I really like that record on the album more than I like it as a single, right? Another record that I like is Salute. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you guys about a record like Salute, right? Now, I love this beat. She repeats things like Salute later on, but this is the version that I like, okay? I love the beat. She lands well. This is some of the stuff where the pockets that she's in on records like Salute is good. I like it, right? Cardi B loves talking about how bad she is. You know, she loves that flex talk. She excels here when she's, when she's doing this flex talk and when she's doing relationship talk. There are other moments where I don't think she excels, but the flow is very Versace coded, a little two chains cadence there as well. I'm not sure if there was an interpolation or sampling going on there, but I could clearly hear it. Now, here's the thing about Outside. Outside was a single. I let it play, but when I listened to it within the album, within the structure of the album, how she designed that, you know what I'm saying? Because there was a section where she had the relationship talk, and she had a section where she was moving on from the hurt. Outside, if I take my bias away, I actually like this song. Once I go away from the fact that it can be you, brothers. You mess up with your girl, she'll be outside next week. It's fitting. It's fitting after all that vulnerability. Great job on whoever, or Cardi herself, that made the decision to work on getting that sequencing right. Now, let's go with another record I like. Nice Guys, like, this is when they try to structure the song for Cardi. Like when you can tell it's a corporate arrangement, this is when it works. This is a good example of when it works. Or when Cardi makes that decision to call the shots. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's who. You know what I'm saying? To get the writer, to get her brain, her writing. Partisan, I saw you, Mr. Fontaine. I saw you on there. You know what I'm saying? Get that male perspective. You know what I'm saying? But thinking with a female mind. Yeah, there you go. So you get a relevant singer on there featuring and Tyler, right? I believe. And then Cardi fills in with her verse. So that's a good look, right? Killing You Hoes is another record I like. I don't love it. I like it. It's a record that closes out the album to me, again, because Up and WAP does not exist, okay? I like this mostly because of the way she rides the beat. Anytime Cardi can land safely, I actually feel really good about that. Okay, now we get the records that are okay, right? And a lot of these records, I don't have too much to say about them, just simply because of the fact that you can tell they're well put together, structured songs, right? And that's the bare minimum of what we need for a record to be okay. But some of them fall flat. In terms of the rawness of it, it sounds like, like, for example, I'll give you an example with Dead. We get Summer Walker. Summer Walker is great on that. She sets the tone. Then Cardi B does this kind of like Dreams and Nightmare intro attempt with the switch up, but it doesn't settle for me at the beginning. She eventually does settle, but early on, that was a little rocky, right? She stays in a certain rap pocket. And sometimes Cardi can sound like she's reciting off and reading off of a piece of paper. A lot of you already kind of say things like this, and I don't mean that to be rude. That just is what it is. That's the voice that she has. That's the cadence that she has. I don't think she could be musically inclined. I don't think she's, a natural rapper or whatever the case might be. But anyway, we got Hello. I could see how Hello would be in the like section for the people that, you're the target audience. I could see how a lot of the songs would be in a like for you because you're in the target audience. But a lot of it for me is when Cardi, veers towards being a little lyrical, it doesn't work. But when she's doing chant-like raps, it does work. And some of these songs, she's trying to balance the both. There's a little conflict for me, right? Like, for example, you got a record like On My Back. Like, I get it. On My Back, for the people that's the target audience, I get it, right? I get the sultry stuff. I get how, we're on there and it's an ode to Stephon Diggs. I get it, dog. I get when you're on there and you start saying things like, run a route and this cat spiked the ball. That's Stephon Diggs. It also explains how we did the hurt stuff earlier and we're immediately doing the Stephon Diggs line. And also, we're pregnant again, right? So we moved on. I don't know about how long it took. I'm not into that. That's women's business. But we moved on. Man, we got other records. Principal versus Principal. I thought it was the Principal, not Principal. But maybe it's a play on words. That record, the intro, the beginning sounds good for me. Got Janet Jackson on there. But after a while, it's just like, it doesn't work for me. And then we got other records. Magnet. We got Pick It Up. These records are cool, right? Now, let's just really deep dive on a record like Bodega Baddie. Out of all the records that I say, why... I'm going to be honest with you. This is a perfect example of when the attempt, right, to put a song together doesn't work. Funny enough, I get why it's there because, you know what I'm saying? You know, Cardi is she's Afro-Latina. I get it. This would play well with the focus groups. Let's take something from New York. You know what I'm saying? Like bodegas. Let's see if it works. And let's take that Jersey, New York club sound. No. Okay? This is an example of the worst of the project. But overall, it's a decent listen. 23 tracks feels like a lot for me. But why don't y'all let me know what you think? This is DHQ Theory.
Cardi B has dropped her long-awaited album, Am I the Drama? It's been around 8 years since she dropped Invasion of Privacy, and I just listened to Am I the Drama? And I'm going to give you my honest review and how I feel about the album. When I first heard Invasion of Privacy, I remember I was playing that joint in my car and I was just vibing from the first track to the last. It had like a bunch of rappers in there. We also had the inclusion of the Migos. Obviously, we don't have that on this album. This album doesn't have a lot of rap features. When I looked at the features for this album, I seen a lot of like, it's heavily driven on female songwriters, female singers. It has Kehlani, it has Lizzo. So, and it has Summer Walker, who actually shows up multiple times on this album. For the most part, Cardi soloed this album herself, which was surprising to see, but it was amazing because I think she did an amazing job on this album. Even with the features and the female songwriters that's featured on this album is hard. Cardi went off on this album. This is Cardi's testament to her pain and everything that she's been through throughout the years. You definitely have a lot of, conversations, that she's having towards her baby father, Offset. So you're definitely going to hear her saying things about that. But for the most part, this is a rap album. The singles that she put out, Outside and Imaginary Players, was just a slicing on the cake compared to what is on this album. Bodega Baddies is gonna go crazy on TikTok. My only issue with that song is that it's too short. I wish it was longer. I really wish it was. My favorite song just so happens to be a song she has on there with Lizzo because it has a sample that I love. And when you hear the song, you'll know why. She also has a song on there called Pretty and Petty where she's responding to Bia's diss track. And if I was Bia, honestly, I would go somewhere and just hide and hope that it don't rain tomorrow because she cooked the hell out of Bia. I give this album, honestly, a 10 out of 10. This album did something for me that only certain albums can do. And it left me with a bunch of different emotions from everything that Cardi was discussing, and the delivery and how she put it out. It was just crazy. It's like amazing to listen to, and it was amazing to hear. I didn't know what I expected from this album, but it gave me everything that I wanted from this album. And I think this album is going to be a classic.
Thanks for riding the wave. More hits coming soon. Please subscribe, like, and share.